Welcome to this week's What's for Dinner video. My name is Ashley. I'm going to be showing you 3 different meals I made this past week. I don't always follow recipes exactly, but if you're interested, I've linked some similar recipes down below. First dinner I'm going to be showing you, I made some chicken tinga tostadas. This is something that I absolutely love and I think has so much flavor. First, I am just starting out with my Mexican rice just to get this cooked up because it does take a little bit. I'm going to toast 1 cup of white rice and then add in my seasonings. I am using 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, 1 teaspoon of tomato bouillon, 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and half a teaspoon of cumin. Next, I'm going to add in my tomato sauce. This is an 8-ounce can that I use a little more than half of, and I'm just going to mix that into the rice. Next, I'm going to add in 2 cups of water and mix that all up. We added the bouillon earlier, so I don't need to add any more broth. At this point, you want to turn your heat up to about medium-high, that way you can get it simmering and boiling. Once it starts boiling, you want to put your lid on it and keep it closed for about 20 minutes with it on low. Next, I'm going to work on my chipotles. I'm just going to chop up a couple of the chipotles in adobo. This is the mixture that goes into the chicken and I think is what makes it the tinga. It adds a lot of spice and a really good flavor. If you don't want it spicy, definitely don't use as much as I did. I made it pretty spicy. Next, we're going to start with the chicken mixture. It is a little bit out of focus, but it will focus later on. I just cooked a couple chicken breasts and shredded them up. Now I'm going to add in some chicken broth and the chipotles that I cut up. I'm going to add in a little bit of the adobo sauce as well as some fresh squeezed lime juice. I'm going to let this chicken sit and simmer in all of these juices. The chicken will then become nice and tender and shredded. You can definitely start taste testing your chicken at this point. I'm going to add a little bit more cumin just for flavor. Once the chicken is done and ready to go, I just set this aside and let it keep warm. I'm going to work on frying my own tostada shells. You can totally buy the store-bought ones, but I always love frying my own, and that way you can kind of control how hard you want it. I personally like mine a little bit harder. My husband prefers his a little bit more soft so he can kind of fold it. Overall, frying your own just has a lot more flavor, but if you want to omit the oil, you can totally just spray this and stick it in the oven. This is how everything looked when it was done. We just topped it with some lettuce, cheese, and queso fresco. I seriously can't wait to make this again. The next dinner I'm going to be showing you, I made a Korean gochujang chicken salad. This was really good and really fresh. Starting out, I'm going to cut up the chicken. If you have chicken thighs, it would work really well with this recipe, but I only had breast. So I'm just going to cut the chicken up into small little strips that are kind of thin. You also want to do this at least an hour before you are going to cook it. That way the chicken can marinate. I'm going to make 2 full chicken breasts, that way there's enough chicken left over for my husband to take for lunch. Next, I'm going to begin marinating the chicken, so I'm going to use some gochujang sauce. This is just a store-bought sauce. I'm also going to add in some soy sauce. You want to make sure there is a nice thick layer of sauce all over the chicken. I also added in a little bit of teriyaki sauce and honey for just some more flavor. I let this chicken marinate for a little over an hour and then I was ready to cook it. To my hot pan, I'm just going to dump in all of that chicken and sauce. There's no need to really add any oil at the bottom. I have my pan set on about medium high, that way all of the chicken juices can kind of evaporate and keep it nice and glazed. It was nice and simmering. I just went ahead and turned the heat off, that way all of that liquid can kind of thicken up. This is how everything looked when it was done. I just served it over a bed of romaine lettuce with some rice on the side. This was delicious. The last dinner I'm going to be showing you, I made a creamy, cheesy spinach ravioli. This was more of a create my own sauce with whatever I had on hand type of dinner. I just melted 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter and then I just added in a good spoonful of some minced garlic. I'm just going to cook up the garlic until it is slightly brown. For the base of the sauce, I'm going to use some heavy whipping cream. Again, I'm not really measuring anything. I'm just cooking up a frozen bag of ravioli. I have my pan set on about medium heat cooking up the sauce. I'm going to add in a nice big handful of some fresh spinach. I'm just going to cook that up until it is all nice and wilted. It's crazy how it just literally disappears. I wanted to make this a little cheesy, so I'm going to add in a handful of just some shredded Mexican blend. I'm going to throw in a couple more leaves of spinach. Of course, I'm going to add in some grated Parmesan cheese and then add in a little bit of salt and pepper for taste. To help thin out the sauce a little bit, I'm just going to add in some 2% milk. Once the raviolis were done cooking, I just drained them and I'm going to add them straight into the sauce. I literally don't know where all the spinach went. I'm just going to finish stirring this all up. You can make some garlic bread on the side or even add a little side salad, but this was enough. This is how everything looked when it was done. I just served it in a nice big bowl. This was definitely really good and kind of tasted restaurant quality. Thank you for watching this week's What's for Dinner video. Make sure you come back next week for another one.